And the reason I decided to speak on this subject today is because innovation has become a buzzword of late. It is something which is required for organizations and individuals to exist and to thrive in the new normal. But there are fallacies around innovation. There is one school of thought which says you either have it or you don't. The second one which says it's primarily around idea generation. What I'd like to tell you is both are myths, right? Both are fallacies in equal measure. Innovation, like any other toolkit or mindset, can be learned. Okay, it can be taught. You can imbibe it and decide how you're going to use it going forward. Second, it's never about idea generation alone. Ideas are a dime a dozen. What differentiates successful innovators from the rest is the ability to take that idea to fruition. So, which brings us to the point, what is the start point of innovation? The starting point of any innovation is creativity. There was an Adobe survey which said that 70% of the people believe that being creative makes them better at work. But surprisingly, only 41% of people believe they're actually creative. Isn't that an anomaly? World Economic Forum talks about criticality of innovation in advancing the world economy. Okay. So which establishes the fact that creativity is a key element which will differentiate humans from machines as we move forward in the age of higher automation. Now, with all that in mind, the question which comes to mind is, how do you develop innovation as an ability? Is it something that can be learned? The answer is yes. Innovation can be learned, it can be encouraged, it can in fact also be incentivized by organizations. There was a study done by University of California which showed that people who thought themselves as creative, as creative or as productive as people who came from traditionally creative areas. The first one is be confident. Okay, if I were to borrow a quote from Audre Lorde in which he says, there are no new ideas, there are only simply new ways of making them felt. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to explore the landscape, the environment for diverse perspectives. Inspirations abound. Okay. Right from Archimedes to Einstein to everyday people, you can look at several things and look at inspirations around it. Okay. If you have a problem for you know excessive plastic inundating or in fact clogging our oceans, can you devise a bacteria which will eat and thrive on plastic? Can that such a possibility be made? And in fact, that exploration of that possibility will only start if you start thinking in those directions. So don't go at it alone. Involve others. It's always better to have more and diverse perspectives. Marshall support. Please don't expect your first idea to fly through and everybody to believe in it. Okay. So Marshall support. Perfect your elevator pitch. How short, how brief, and how simply can you communicate your idea so that it appeals to others? Prototype and reflect. Okay, as continuous improvement. Okay, you have an idea, you work on it, you marshal the team, you pitch it, you find your sponsorship, you build on it, keep improving on it. All of this, what we did as a consulting firm is we evolved offerings around this because this the creativity and innovation. So taking inspiration from the principles which drive innovation, we devised a workshop called Creativity and Innovation, in which we blended human-centric design or design thinking, lean startup, our own methodology called Idea Tries, jobs to be done, among others. The idea of this was how to look for creativity, how to spark the thought of looking at everyday processes in a different mechanism and go ahead and identify the opportunity, pitch it, refine it, improvise, and implement. Okay, and to do that in a very short time frame. An aspect which stood out for us was the need of entrepreneurs. Now, this concept has been around, but somehow never got its due, is what we feel. Looking at that, when we did a study around of 3M and several other innovative organizations, uh, the key among them being several Indian organizations like Marico and the others, which inspire a lot of thought in us. And we came up with this concept of entrepreneurship. How can organizations groom entrepreneurs? How do they let their most talented people still stay with them and not move out to a smaller firm just to fuel their creativity. So what we've done is we've devised an index called the Intrapreneur Index, through which high potential individuals can be measured, their needs can be identified, and whole programs can be structured around, driving the organizational improvements or strategic imperatives through these entrepreneurs. So with these offerings, we hope to large scale and accelerate organizations, accelerate innovation in several organizations, and that's being an imperative. If this is something that is of interest to you, you could get in touch with me at my email ID, which is Sushant, Sushant, at easyprosol.com.